So last month we already reviewed the Caesar document, and now it's time to send the comments to Caesar as the last. Tomorrow is the last day to provide the comments. So I wrote something based on our discussion last month and uh, discussion with several people. So we can go through that, and of course, if you have additional comments or remark on the document, I will update the summary. So first, I wrote some context to tell who we are, so that they know the comments come from us. Then, as general comments, I made a sentence telling that it would be good to include some examples, as some cases are not always very clear, and also to provide in an appendix the mapping of the elements they propose in SPDX and CycloneDX. In some cases, like the known unknown, it's not really clear how it should be expressed. And third remark, it's not fully clear for me what is absolutely mandatory and what are only recommendations or optional things. So I recommend here to use the RFCs that define precisely the meaning, as we have done in our telco guide. So any remarks on this? No. So so now I go into every field that they mention to be present in the SBOM. So on component name, what is a bit difficult is that they say that there might be several names for a component, but in SPDX or CycloneDX, there is only one possible value. So here we really need some guidance on how the supplementary values can be put in the document. So what we suggested last time is to put everything in the same field and separate with something like a semicolon, but that seems very, very strange. So for the component version, they say that if there is no version, then you can put the creation date of the file, but it's not clear at all what the file means, because well, the component is not a single file. So that seems really strange. And as a minor remark, they say that the version of the component is used to specify a change from a previously identified version. But what about the first version? So about software identifiers, it says that you should put all software identifiers, so PAL, CPE, software hash ID, and so on. So this seems a bit too demanding in the sense that there might really be many identifiers. So I think we should not require all of them. On the other hand, for the component hash, they tell about vhash, so it's not clear whether you can or should provide different hashes from different algorithms. For instance, if you look to PyPy, they provide a hash in both MD5 and SHA256, so I would require clarifications there. Then in the dependency relationship, they speak about a component that is largely derived from another component, and they also speak of the descendant of a component, so it's not very clear what they mean here. They require the tool name that produces the as POM, which is good, but what we told last time is that they should also require the tool version, as a new version of a tool might provide different or different result or more complete results. The timestamp here in several parts of the document, it seems that for a given software, for a given component, they say that you create an SBOM, and after that, if you get better tools or you find dependencies that you didn't notice at the beginning, you update the SBOM and you change the timestamp. From what I discussed with several people, including the SPDX people, it seems better to consider that if you regenerate an S-bomb, it is not the same S-bomb, it's a new one. So it should be something completely different, even if it is about the same software. Then last thing is generation context. So previously CISA 2 years ago produced a document, the CISA SBOM type, that defines a number of SBOM type, and it's strange that here they don't use it. They use a different terminology with only 3 types of SBOM, before build, during build, or after build. So here we don't really understand why they don't use their own terminology. So this requires some clarification. So that's with comments on the different things to be present in the SBOM. Do you agree with what I wrote, or do you have other comments?
Yes. So I have one question. So will you comment to CISA from Nokia standpoint or telco working standpoint?
Yes, I will send these comments we are just discussing from the OpenChain Telco work group.
Okay.
It's what we discussed last month and what we are discussing today. I know that Nokia will also send comments under the Nokia name. Some comments might be the same, some might be different. So, and I also participated in the SPDX technical meetings, and the SPDX project will also send comments. Some of the comments from SPDX are the same as here, but they also have other things. From the document, what I saw, it's even more detailed than what I have written here.
Okay.
So in the document there is a chapter which is called automation support, and here they say that the agencies should not accept SBOM in deprecated version of formats. So this seems a bit unclear. Of course, you shouldn't use very old. Well, you will not provide an SBOM in SPDX1, but in my opinion, they should tell when they publish a document which versions they consider as deprecated. For SPDX, I would say that you can provide SBOM in SPDX 2.2, 2.3, or 3.0. For Cyclone DX, I don't really know. But yes, they should give a bit more guidance on what is deprecated or not. Then in the chapter practices and processes, they use the notion of revide SBOM. That is what I explained before. They say that for a given software, you can provide, you can update the SBOM, but from the practice we have, it's we consider that it's a new SBOM, not a revised one. But that's not very major. On coverage, it's not it's not clear about what they require about dependencies. In the coverage section, it seems that they say that you should provide all transitive dependencies. But in the next section about known unknowns, they say that you should tell when you don't have all dependencies, and this seems a bit contradictory. And they also require you to tell when you don't know some of the dependencies, and when you know the dependencies, but you don't want to provide them. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, sorry for being late.
Yes, so we are about to send the comments to Caesar, as tomorrow is the last day. So I've written the comments in a structured manner. So I won't go again through everything, but I wrote a first paragraph telling that the comments come from us, the telco, OpenChain Telco group. Some general comments on the document, then some comments for each field, and now we are in the other sections where they speak on how and when to provide the SBOM. So I was explaining that it's not very clear what they require about the dependencies. There is a section coverage where they seem to imply that you should provide every dependencies, recursive dependencies, transitive dependencies at any level. That's why I understand by there is no minimum depth, but in the known unknown section, they say that you should tell when some dependencies are not present in the SBOM, and so there seem to be differences between the coverage and the known unknown section, and there is no native mechanism in SPDX to express that, so it can be put in a comment for example, but there is no guidance for that, so it should be perhaps a bit more detailed with some examples. And my last comments are about the appendix. In Appendix A, they provide a summary with the list of the minimum elements, and so here I have very very small commands, but it's not they are not consistent in the table, because in some cases they use for software identifiers they put an S, it's a plural, but for other fields that can have multi-values, they don't put a plural, so I wrote some recommendations, but that's really very, very minor. So that is what I plan to send. So any comment, any things to add? Okay, so if no comments, I will send that later today. after the second meeting. So not many other topics on my side. So the only thing, so I updated the SBOM of our validator. In fact, when I created the SBOM of the validator, not all transitive dependencies were present, so I fixed that. And so, from what we discussed last month, I created a draft for version 1.2 of the guide. So I have included Jimmy's suggestion. And added some information based on this new CISA document. So I plan to publish it after the the CISA document is officially published, after they review all comments. So I don't know how long that it will take. Anything else you want to discuss?
So how is the SBOM encryption issue? So I commented.
You provided sorry, I don't remember. You provided some comments.
Yes,
In the
after
email.
after last meeting, I commented the two issues, and you also replied the comments. So could you go to the pull request and click the close 119 closed? Yeah, and update the OpenChain Telco S1 guide ENMD. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line. And next one. Yes, that's right. That's all.
Okay. So sorry. Okay. Okay. Yes. No. Yeah, I remember. um. Yes. The second comment. Yes, I have updated, and yes, yes. I thought we would discuss your first comment. Okay. So what do others think about that? About about encryption?
Well, I submitted it, so I can provide my thoughts, but essentially I think that both of the above, it's both sort of the process of conveying an S-bomb between a provider and consumer, and also how a provider and a consumer shall store that S-bomb as rest when it's not being transferred. So I think the language is intended to cover both. If it doesn't accurately convey that, I think I'm more than happy if we change the language of that requirement a little bit.
Okay, so that it's encrypted both at rest and during transmission.
Yes.
Okay.
At least that was the intent behind the wording.
Okay. So can you propose a better wording?
I can come back to that, absolutely. I'll make an updated pull
Yes.
request or replying in this thread maybe, but absolutely I can provide some better wording that more accurately captures that.
Okay, thank you very much. So yes, you can provide a comment here, or you can make a pull request on the draft.
Yeah, I can. Let's say I might actually do both and send out an email to the list for discussion before making that pull request, so that everyone has time to comment and we can expand on sort of the reasoning there as well.
Okay, that's good. So yes, thank you, Jimmy, for that, and thank you, Masahiro-san, for bringing this point. I had forgot. Okay, anything else? Okay, if not, we can close the call. So I will have the second session this afternoon, and after that I will send the comments to Caesar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining. So talk to you next month.
Thank you very much.